So we're doing something a bit different today. I'm going to give a breakdown of a track I released a week ago called Like I Do, which sounds like this. So stick around, I'll show you all the individual parts, processes, everything that went into it, and without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So the first thing I started off with on this track was the vocal. So this was a vocal of Splice, and it's just a hook. It goes like this.
Love you, yeah, love you like I do. And nobody will treat you, yeah, treat you like I do. Nobody will love you, yeah, love you like I do. And nobody will treat you, yeah, treat you like I do.
Then what I did was I wanted to chop up the vocal. So my idea was to chop it up and kind of get some housey pianos in there, which ended up like this. This is my chop vocal.
Love you, I do. Love you, I do.
Basically what I did was I brought it into sampler and then played it with MIDI notes then in here like this.
Love you, I do. Love you, I do.
Then I wrote some piano behind that. So I actually use two pianos in this, which is a grand piano off Machine, which was it was just a bright grand. I actually thought that was Alicia Keys, but it's not. Then I use Nexus grand piano then along with that ended up like this with the vocal.
Love you, I do. Love you, I do. Nobody will love you, I do. Nobody will love you, I do. Nobody will love you.
Then with some automation, some filtering and just a little bit of reverb, then I kind of blended it in with the build-up. Underneath the vocal there's little accents which are glitchy vocals. So what I like to do in any of my sounds is just literally mess about with the vocal a little bit, try and add some accents, some little ear candy bits in it. So this is what I come up with in this. So that just wanted to sit underneath the vocal, and then added a load of effects, some reverb, some delay, a little bit of compression, and then something I like to use a lot to give it a nice rich warm sound is the Neo Old U17. Definitely check it out if you don't have it. So that together with the piano sounds like this.
Love you, I do.
So that just sat underneath it and just added different textures to the build-up.
I
included some claps for the build-up. Kind of real crowd claps, just a sample I have on a hard drive, and then use some reverb and a little bit of automation on that as well. Then just underneath this we have a background noise. So very subtle in the background, just people talking. This actually was a recording I took from a restaurant I was in Galway, Ireland. And yeah, basically I just want to include something real underneath it and just add different ambience, different textures to the track. And then overall in the build-up then we just finish off with some automated hats, shakers. So just really adding ambience to the build-up there, and just kind of adding some tension, and yeah, just building up the track, getting ready for the hook. And then in the main hook then we have some keys, drums, added in a bass kick underneath then, and then we have our chop vocal still. So for this track, I actually started off with the build up and then straight into the hook. Then what I wanted some chop vocal in the hook, and then straight in with kick, and then open up the drums then after the build up then. So basically filtered drums in the build up with the claps underneath, and then straight in kind of building up the energy straight into like a release then of tension then in the hook with the bass underneath, and then the kick as well. And then we just added some added effects and whatnot just underneath. So that's what I started with this track. Then it was about building around that, and then what I could build around that then. So kind of messing about with sounds, including the actual hook off the vocal then underneath. And then I come up with this intro then, and the intro is very simple. It just has bass and then some filtered drums in the intro with the vocal, and then the real magic comes from this little sample I made using a filter. So that was just a pad using the same chords, ran it through a filter. It's bounced here in this project, but in my original project it would have been ran through my sound design. No, it's multi-effects, and it is step effects, I think. Yeah. So this is step effects, and then what this is basically a modulator, and you can run it through a filter, you can run it through a gate, you can add distortion, reverb, anything like that, and there's some nice presets in here. It gives you nice textures. Basically I added a pad and ran it through that, then added some effects, took the click out of it using this X click, and then I ended up with that. And then that with the vocal then.
Treat you like I do.
So that gave me a nice intro just in the beginning, with some vocal, then that coming in with the drums underneath then, and then the bass then as well. And the bass is, no, it's not automated, so the bass underneath that then, and then with the kick then as well.
Love you like I do. And nobody will treat you like I do. Nobody will love you like I do. And nobody will treat you like I do. Nobody will love you like I do. And nobody will treat you.
So that kind of just gave a groove and an overall vibe to it then. Underneath that I have vocal sidechain trigger, which is glitchy vocals again.
Nobody will love you like I do. And nobody will treat you like I do.
So these are automated, and basically what it is, it was my trigger for sidechain then underneath for this here, which is my glitchy vocal.
Nobody will love you like I do. And nobody will treat you like I do.
So there's a lot of delay on that, and basically what that did is that sidechain to the vocal sidechain trigger, which gives a different dimension to the vocals underneath that then.
Nobody will love you like I do. And nobody will treat you like I do.
So I didn't want the vocals to get boring in that section there, and basically what I did was added a load of effects, delays, reverb, stuff like that, but I wanted to kind of tame that, so I used sidechain then to help the vocal shine through, but while having the effects then as well. And then we just have normal effects just building up into the build up of the track then. So little things like that. That was just a reverse piano of this actual piano here. So just in my hooks, what I like to do is I like to add another dimension underneath the kick. So I use a technique by Jason Joshua, which is a parallel kick, which I'll show you now. So that's my normal kick there, very punchy. It's a 909 kick, very punchy, but not enough low end in it. So what I like to do, and especially in my hooks, is add the low end, but with the click off it back in. So this was a technique I seen from Jason Joshua, and what he does is he runs the kick through a DBX 160 and he over compresses it so that he just gets the click. So this is it. So very clicky, very punchy, and then he adds in the low end with the Pytech. Then what setting do I have this in? Yeah, I have boost on the low end at 60 hertz, +9, attenuating 5. So what this does is this gives you a shape kind of like this. Let me show you. High shelf. So basically what it's doing is boosting the lows, cutting out a little bit of the mids there, and boosting the highs then again, but while also attenuating around about 5k. So something similar to this. It's not the exact same thing. And then while giving an analog sound then as well. So after that, this ended up like this. So you still get the click and you get the punch from the low end, and then blend it in then with a bus. I use the Expressor, then it ends up. So you still get the low end, really nice click, and then it helps punch through the mix. I also route the bus to a chamber, to this chamber here. What is it? 12. So I route it to the hits fill chambers, which gives a nice texture to the kicks. And then it puts it in a room, so it allows it to become punchy through the mix. And then you can also affect that in the mix for different textures throughout, not to keep it kind of repetitive as such. So moving on to the bridge then, we started with this vocal, and this vocal was made out of the main vocal using a plugin called Output, and or Portal by Output, should I say. And it was just a preset then I chose in this. It's bounced at the minute. But yeah, really good plugin. Mess about with vocals completely. You can change textures of tracks completely, and it just give me this nice rhythm. So it just chopped up the vocals again and then messed about with the pitch then, and then I chopped the audio off it and then made this rhythm. Then underneath that we have some piano then as well. This is a filtered piano off the main one, and again just chopped it up and it just added kind of a rhythm underneath the vocals then again. So kind of a counter melody and a counter rhythm then, and then we have then some more vocals. So filtered vocals, kind of a bass underneath it. I ran this through, let me see if I have it on here. I ran this through Influx. This is a plugin by FKFX, and basically what it is a modulator, but it adds in it modulates filters and then adds in a sine wave underneath your sound, and then when I bounce it, this is what I come out with then. So it just gave groove in that section and just a different dimension again. Then we have some more of the recording noise, and then what I added in was some some talking underneath that. Then this is just a sample, I think, just of Splice. And then after the hook, then that just gave me a different dimension to basically tell the song that it was going somewhere different. And that all together then with some of the filter drums then. Then that kind of builds up into our break section then. So for our break section, it was very simple. Just wanted to keep the same ideas of what I had done in the bridge here, but I wanted to add some basically UKG snares, a different bass then underneath it, and just make it basically coming alive then in a break section. Chopped up the kick for a different rhythm, and then we have this for our drums and bass then. So I just wanted to add a break to the track, just kind of bring it in a different direction in that sense. And then I added another acoustic layer to the kick. Then we have that all together with our previous synths, vocals, everything, and this is it, with some effects then underneath. So then it brings us in to the build up again, and what I did was I didn't filter the piano in this section. I wanted it to really break out and then uplift and into the same, basically the same hook again with some added drums, different effects, stuff like that. So just something to differentiate the first hook slightly. So builds up into the same hook. Yeah, so just for the outro then, or for the second half of the hook, I brought in the main vocal again, just so that kind of people that were listening, playing live can sing along to it. And then I wanted to include that in the outro. So very simple, just kind of filtered off the piano, added some effects, kept the main vocal going, a little bit of the synth from the beginning verse, and then the kick underneath then, so is that if I'm playing live or DJing, I can mix another track into it and then bring it into the next track. Nobody will love you, they'll love you like I do, and nobody will treat you, they'll treat you. So yeah, that was it. It was it ended up being quite a big track underneath, but basically it stemmed from originally was the build up and the hook, and then we kind of expanded on it from there. But yeah, any questions, anything like that, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try and break down kind of any individual questions you want to know, how I did these things, if you want me to show you how I did the filtered effects, how I do my effects, how I mess about with vocals, anything like that. Just drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to make a tutorial on that and trying to explain it the best I can. But yeah, until the next time, hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of this track. It's out now, so if you want to check it out, it's up on Spotify. It's called Like I Do, JXK Like I Do. Check it out, give it a stream, see what you think of the whole overall process, and then when it was fully mastered, all that crack. Yeah, let me know, and until the next time, peace.